Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're just going to give people a few moments to make their way in. While we're doing that, please do let us know in the chat where in the world you are joining us from. I'm in London as always, but our hosts today are from Moldova. We've got a huge amount of people registered for this webinar today, clearly a hot topic, so looking forward to getting into some good AI chat. Oh, more people from Moldova, from Tunis. Hello, thank you for joining us. The United Arab Emirates, Rio de Janeiro, we're everywhere, we're global, we're all over the place. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm so excited for today's webinar, but before I hand you over to the host, just a little bit of housekeeping. This session is recorded, so if you have to run away and do something really important, don't panic. There's going to be a recording of this sent to your inbox. I will also put a recording of this up on the COVA's website. So if you're really inspired and motivated afterwards, you want to share it with all your colleagues, you can definitely still do that. We're going to be doing questions through the chat box, which is already live and popping, so thank you everyone. If you've got any questions at any point throughout the webinar, please do just put them in the chat box, and we're going to do a Q&A about 10 or 15 minutes before the end. Thank you everyone, and I'll hand you over to our hosts.
So hello everybody, my name is Tatiana Popa. I'm Deputy Academic Director at Heritage International School in Moldova. I'm responsible for global learning, but also for hybrid and online learning at my school. So we do use technology like all the other educators, and today we have come here to share together with you how we integrate artificial intelligence in our day-to-day teaching. This has become a hot topic, especially at the end of 2022, when new tools have appeared which have put us or our teaching skills to the test. And hopefully after this webinar, you will feel more empowered, or just to know that you're not alone. We're all together learning and trying to adapt our teaching and learning so that we do our best in education. I will start with this, and I will ask you to tell me what you see in this image. Nothing out of common. Is supposedly a 1940s picture, black and white, of some women. But just to let you know that if you haven't read still about it, then this photo became a winner at the Sony World Photo Awards 2023. And starting this Monday, that is 2 days ago, it appeared that it was a scandal. And this quote came to my mind when looking at this picture and analyzing the situation. Don't trust everything you see, even salt looks like sugar sometimes. And let me explain what is this. So Boris Eldagsen, who is the author of this picture, refused to take the prize, and he revealed that actually this photo was generated with Dall-e 2, which is image generator from OpenAI. And you can read later the article in the Business Insider or any other media outlet, but talk about this situation, how this photographer refused his prize. And so that you know, he has 3 decades of working as a photographer, and a well-reputed one. But he, in this case, submitted an AI generated picture, and the scandal appeared. So I was just surprised that it was not depicted, but the picture was generated by AI. And here are 3 other photos that came together with the one submitted, because when you ask Dall-e to generate something from your prompt, it offers 4 versions of your request. So this is what Boris Eldagsen generated with Dall-e 2, and thus he created the electrician. So I'm going to talk today about this tool called Dall-e 2, and before that, I heard some comments recently of educators saying that I'm not using AI in my teaching, or I'm not using AI in my daily work. So I want you to think a bit about your daily activities and to say, if you have recently used Google Maps or Waze or any other application for sharing or finding any location. If you have used facial recognition to unlock your phone or any other online account. If you had any suggestions or music recommendations or videos, for example, on Spotify, on YouTube, on Netflix, or if you have used Google search suggestion, then all this means that you have used AI. And even writing an email nowadays makes it easier for us, because it is the AI who is that is suggesting what to write. So yes, AI has a long way to go. It started from the 1950s. Can you believe it? It all started with a Turing test. It is a test designed by Alan Turing in order to determine if some information was created by a computer or a human. Then the term itself was born in 1956, and from that period till nowadays, it had periods of AI summers when there were investments in the research of AI, and different applications appeared, like ELIZA, like expert systems, and you can see the periods on this timeline when the AI winters occurred. So the AI winters were the periods when people were disillusioned in doing research in AI and not finding something meaningful. So the periods of stopping the investments, but then something else appeared and they decided to develop again, and so on and so forth, till we got to our days. And you probably remember what the appearance of Cires generated, how people were enjoying that. And then Watson was the one competing in Jeopardy games and winning. And then Watson was given some other additional skills, and it could make more complex tasks, and so on till we got to 2020, and after the lockdown. For example, I discovered Dall-e, the first version, and we had fun with my students in class, because I teach global perspectives, and we discuss various global issues. So when we started learning with my students about employment and work, people, jobs, I introduced also the aspect of AI in work and what the future of jobs could be like. So we generated some basic images from Dall-e, and they really had fun. In 2021, the AI Act, which introduced some regulations about the use of AI and which apps can be included in the regulations, and which ones should be banned because they have to put people at risk. Then 2022 was a total breakthrough in the use of artificial intelligence with the appearance of ChatGPT created by OpenAI. And to be honest, I heard comments from teachers saying that they went back to the classroom and told students about ChatGPT, and they said that we used it since November. We have used it since November. And I just told those teachers, go back and tell them that they might have started using it in December, because it was just launched on the last day of November. And even further on, a lot of other companies created something similar. And now GPT-4, which is even more developed than ChatGPT, and you'll see further. So we have all of these tools. We can't uninvent them or to pretend that they don't exist, or this is what I think. So our only option is to learn how to use them to our benefit, because I assume all the creators designed them with the hope that they would be useful to the humans. So I'll go back to Dall-e, and Dall-e has developed, and it is the second version these days, called Dall-e 2, which can create very realistic images and art from a description in a language that we use. So what shall we do with it? How can we use it in the classroom? So here I have created an example of sunflowers in a vase in the Van Gogh style, and you can see what the app has created. I can't say that this is a painting, because I don't have the right to call it so. It is digital work, definitely, and we should call it so. Then I chose a different one. It is also powered by Dall-e, but it belongs to Microsoft, more exactly Microsoft Bing, and it is the image creator over there. I again use the prompt, and more exactly, I asked for lots of Moldovans in traditional blouses, smiling, having fun, and taking a selfie. Given good instructions, this is what it created. I would ask you to look attentively at these images. I sent this to a group of educators who started discussing about the blouses, because those people that are aware of national traditional blouses in Moldova, Romania, they will know that these blouses, the patterns are not very much from Moldovan region. But my request for paying attention was for you to look at the fingers in this image where the girl is taking a selfie. So any non-expert but who works a bit with these tools will obviously notice that the AI struggles to create good human fingers and nails, and the eyes sometimes are not really proper done, and so on. So it is kind of obvious. So I thought maybe there are too many people in those images. Let me ask for just one. So I asked for a beautiful Moldovan girl, again in a traditional blouse with a basket with colored eggs. So you will laugh even more if you know the traditional clothes of Moldova, especially looking at the last picture, because the last picture shows more clothes of Ukraine more than Romania or Moldova. So the AI still needs to learn, it looks like, and it's again about looking at the fingers in the last picture especially, and even in the third one as well, and in the first two. So AI doesn't do a very good job with that. So I use another tool also for generating images here called Clip Drop, asking for some image of an Easter table with traditional food and candles, and look what it gave me. I don't know what you think, but for me, this is surely not an Easter table, or this is how I see it. So I thought maybe Clip Drop is not the tool I want to use. So I gave it a different task. And for this one, I wanted to create a YAG for a colleague that is a fan of Van Gogh's Starry Night. And it created a really nice image. So I was content with that. But the secret is in the prompts that you give to these generating tools. If you give it a simple prompt, it will design you a simple image. If you have a more sophisticated, focused, and detailed prompt, then it will give you something more sophisticated. So let me give you an example of how I use this in the classroom. In global perspectives, we discuss global issues. So my students have been in climate action project, the goals project, we have explored SDGs and so on. So I came across United Nations youth visual call for a green, sustainable, circular future. So I gave my students the task to create an image. And because it was not indicated what kind of medium I had to use with my students, then I allowed them to be creative and to use any medium they wanted, not just painting in watercolors, for example, but to create digital art as well. So some of them have used Dall-e, others have used Bing's image creator, and so on and so forth. So you can see that the results are very different, and it again depended very much on the prompts. I asked them to think about what would suppose a green future, and you see the different results that I got. So I have sent this to United Nations, and I mentioned in my email that some of them are generated by AI. And let me now go back to the discussion of the century, it looks like. I think AI has evolved way more in a couple of months than it did in decades. And the proof is here with OpenAI's ChatGPT. I would like to draw your attention here at this first image, which shows ChatGPT's data introduced. So if it is around 175 billion parameters for ChatGPT or GPT 3.5, then for GPT-4 it is already 100 trillion. So the amount of data it contains or it was trained on is way higher. So it means the results would be better when you give the prompts. And just for us to think of the impact or how much popularity this tool has gained, I will just say that Netflix, it took Netflix 4 years and 11 months to get to 1 million subscribers. For Twitter, it took 2 years to get there, while for ChatGPT, it took it only 5 days to have 1 million users. So we can say that the impact is way larger and quicker. And especially we can see that education is affected a lot in terms of us needing to rethink education, the way we teach in the classroom, and especially the assignments and the tasks that we give our students. So ChatGPT is a conversational bot. It has its capabilities. It can remember what you said early in the conversation. It allows to provide follow-up corrections, so you can improve the responses. It is also trained to decline inappropriate requests, but we have read recently that you can also trick it depending on how you ask your questions. But it also has some limitations. It means it may occasionally generate incorrect information. It can produce harmful instructions or biased content. It has limited knowledge of the world events after 2021. So we can't really entirely rely on what it says. So I was thinking about if this is the only challenge that educators had, and we totally had concerns about technology that appeared early in our lives. For example, the spell checkers appeared, I don't know how many years ago, but especially for the language teachers, they were concerned about, we were concerned about how well we will be able to evaluate or assess our students' abilities to write correctly. The plagiarism tools helped us, and at the same time, we are using them on a daily basis in order to understand if the students cite sources or they just copy paste some information and share it with us. The appearance of the Google search engine made us think that our students probably would steal information and present it as theirs, and the same about Wikipedia. And even more so about automatic translation software such as Google Translate or DeepL and so on. So I've been teaching English for many years. So for me, getting text translated by Google Translate was a fun way of understanding that my students tried to be brilliant, but it didn't really happen, because anyone who has done a translation, a professional translation, in written form would know that even if you use these tools, they might help you with saving some time, but no professional translator that respects themselves would just share the translation without actually improving it. because the more translation is not very good quality and reliable. The same with DeepL. So I have tried to read what other people think about it. And for example, Dirk van Dam from OECD, he tried to refer to ChatGPT as we used to say about other things that appeared earlier. For example, invention of a calculator, because we have read how the math teachers were concerned about calculators and making learning of arithmetic unnecessary, and it didn't happen. Then Google made knowledge unnecessary. It's not true. The fact that we have access to Google Earth doesn't make geography unnecessary, for instance, and so on and so forth. So the same would apply to ChatGPT. If it can ease our lives and help us do things quicker, it doesn't mean that it would totally ditch education. And here is a classic example, as I mentioned, translators. A sentence translated from Dutch into English, and if you have a look at the sentence in the English translation, you easily spot mistakes. So this just tells that translating word for word doesn't really help. And this is what these computer programs can do. So having had a discussion with my students, and I asked them about their opinions with ChatGPT and other tools, they said something very similar to Dr. Hirsch here, saying that the internet rewards people, those that are already in the know and have knowledge and good vocabulary. Google is not an agent of equality, and it rewards those that are already cognitive insiders and have knowledge. Here is a prompt craft for ChatGPT in the framework called Create from Tom Barrett, an educator in Australia, who says that when we design these prompts to use them as educators to create our work and make lives a bit easier, then we should first think about clarity of defining the tasks when we create the prompts, to provide relevant details and information in the keywords, to give some examples if necessary, and to try to avoid ambiguity, and to focus on the key information, and to test and refine the prompts until we get what we exactly need, and then to evaluate the output and to adjust it, and to do the same together with our students too. So here are some examples of what AI can do, and I asked it how to explain AI to educators, and it showed me step by step in details. Then I asked something in Romanian for the sake of sharing it in a different language to see how much quality I would find there. And I asked what changes are needed in the Moldovan education system, and it gave me a whole list. I don't say that there are no good points in here. Still, I think that the results for Romanian languages are not as good as the ones in English. That's why I assume that the database for ChatGPT is filled more with text in English than in Romanian. Also, I asked about disadvantages also in Romanian, and it gave me a list. And here I have I'm sharing a poster with some time savers for teachers on what it can create, and some hints on how to do it. So starting with creating discussion prompts, quizzes, exercising on vocabulary or essay analyzers, essay feedback, even if you introduce the text. It can design lesson plan or to create rubrics, to do pre-reading, while reading, after reading tasks, and so on and so forth. So even for daily work, creating reports, annual reports, permission sheets, etc., etc. But you know, when we think about the good part, we know that there are already detectors for AI content. So here is the OpenAI's AI classifier, the company that created ChatGPT. It tells that it is only 26% reliable. That's why I'm not using this personally. But I do use Crossflag. Crossflag is highly reliable, but it has limited access for us if we don't pay for it. I personally prefer GPT-0.me because it's easy to use and it is entirely free. So it tells you the scores. It highlights the portions in yellow, which are created by the AI, and it shows file batch. You can do the file batch uploads in it, or just copy paste the text in here. Another good tool is thomas.io, which also tells in percentage how much is AI created and how much is human. And you can see in the example here. Having a comparison between ChatGPT 3 versus ChatGPT 4, the amount of parameters is way larger, and I said it is already 100 trillion parameters compared to the billions in ChatGPT 3. GPT-4 is not for free, so you need to have a subscription in order to use it. The difference is that GPT-3 has knowledge until September 2021, while GPT-4 has information in it up until late 2022. It has more advanced capabilities. ChatGPT-4, it can create not only text, but also other formats such as charts, such as tables. It can include images as well. And it has very improved context understanding. So it reduces the biases and inaccuracies. And it is, but it is still, if you try and practice on it, for example, Bing AI is based on GPT-4, so you can try to work on it then to see the difference when you give the same prompt to the first and the second one. There is also one AI chatbot from Google. It is called Bard. I can't have access to it from my country because it's still not available, but I have included here a video where you can watch and see the differences. The teacher, Casey Bell, has asked for a lesson plan, and you can compare the two results. So what can we actually do about it? First, as educators, I consider that we should test these platforms, not only as students, all the ones that we consider necessary. We should invite our students to do the same, and colleagues in school to discuss about these tools in the staff rooms, to share, to create teaching and learning briefings where we share with our school communities. To try to work on the prompts in order to improve the quality and accuracy, and to get used to them. Then we can design our learning tasks to include AI activities. And when our students use them, we should sit together and analyze the results. Then we need to rethink the way we assess our students and how we create the tasks, so that they understand that for us it is clear that there is no way of cheating, and what is AI, and they can't pretend it is theirs as genuine. Academic honesty should be discussed from the start, so that our students know on what territory they are, and they know about us knowing about it. So this is what we did at Heritage International School in February. We updated our academic honesty policy. So we received guidelines from Cambridge International, and we updated the policy. We have given some ideas for teachers on how to check what is the work of the candidates, which one is their own, and how we should depict what is plagiarized and what not. Be it direct plagiarism or AI content. Then we also mentioned about what is the acceptable use of artificial intelligence, some directions for students so that they know what we allow them to do and what not. And I hope our students do learn from their mistakes at the beginnings. So some examples here from me, how we're doing it. As I'm also responsible for online safety, and I'm kind of telling students about our online safety, about academic honesty. I received an article submitted by one of my students on the importance of education, and without passing it through GPT-0, as a teacher, we all know when something is genuine and what is plagiarized. So I read this essay and article, and I understood that probably is the first and last sentence that is his, and the rest it is generated by AI. And when I used the detector, it was exactly as I thought. So I sent it back to my student and told him that I can't accept and grade such work. He was surprised and denied it, but he never did this again. Another example is from another class where the student had to write an essay on why is it not easy to understand each other in a foreign language. So I received as a submission, this is a part of the essay, and I replied to the student back asking him if he was sure that was his text, because the AI plagiarism detector was telling me something different. The student was defensive, so he said, no, it was my written essay. But in the following 2 hours, he submitted a totally different version of the essay, which was already written by him. So this is kind of, we are working together, and they know I'm not accepting such work. So when I allow them to use the AI, yes, they are free to use it. But if I ask them to write, then it should be their writing. So I put here some collections of AI lesson plans and learning activity for you to look at. All the links will be at the end of the presentation, and the presentation will be shared, so you will be able to explore it. Put together by an expert from European Schoolnet Academy. If you still have doubt about using AI in your teaching, then here is another collection about with articles on AI in education, written by different organizations such as Pearson Education or Microsoft and many others. And you can also follow the expert Tatiana on Wakelet in order to see all her collections. And if you still have doubt about using AI concerning the ethical use of artificial intelligence, then here is a short course from the University of Helsinki in Finland, where you learn about different aspects of the ethical use of AI, who is responsible, about fairness, human rights, and so on and so forth. So it takes you 2 minutes to register for this, and I hope it will convince you that we are learning together, and we should consider all aspects of it. And in autumn 2022, the European Commission designed the ethical guidelines on the use of artificial intelligence in teaching and learning. And this guide is very comprehensive and very, very useful. So you will see some guidance for educators and school leaders on how to make use of different AI tools in order to help your work, for example, to keep track of attendance, or to help you with differentiating teaching in the classroom, and many other aspects. Also, it tells one of the aspects was how to raise awareness and to get community engagement. And besides discussing with colleagues inside the school, collaborating with other schools is also important. So it is exactly what we are doing at the moment. Communicating with parents is also crucial, and having a good partnership school family is what offers the success of the student. I have, for example, informed in open evenings parents about their children using artificial intelligence to submit tasks, and the parents were not happy. But it's good when we inform them, because we know why their child might get some work ungraded and so on, and keeping up to date with all that comes new in the field, because we are teachers, and we want to believe that in the 21st century we are equipped with the knowledge to prepare the future generations. And if we speak about the future, then we need to get them ready for that future, and we can't deny that such tools exist. So if you want to learn more, here I put together a list of educators and experts you could follow. It's Tom Barrett from Australia, Marco Neves from Spain, an expert in AI, Ariana Blazik from European Schoolnet, Eugenia Casariego, the same. Guillermo Medrano is from Spain, and he's an IT teacher and also an expert and a twinning ambassador. Joe Dale is an expert in teaching for modern foreign languages and technology consultant. Monica Burns and Casey Bell from the United States, who also gives lots of guidance on using technology in the classroom. And Chris Goodall, who is also an EdTech innovator and AI enthusiast. So just some names, maybe you have others to recommend, feel free to share with us as well. Here's a collection of generative AI in education, and you can see here for different types of outcomes, different tools. I'm not going to go for all of them because there are a lot. So starting with text, then lots of chatbots, not just ChatGPT, image generators, video generators, quizzes, speeches, presentations, lesson plans, music, games, and so on. So the link is over here, and feel free to explore. Here is the list of resources I have used throughout the presentation and some suggested readings. And yes, my big question was about using if AI will ever replace teachers. I don't know what you think, but I personally don't think AI has a chance. As Chris Goodall has mentioned, the role of the teacher is to create that emotional bond with the students, not just to deliver knowledge, not to facilitate, not to design lessons. We can use the AI tools to design lessons if needed, or to help us do better, or to save our time. But this connection that is built between the teacher and the student can't be replaced by artificial intelligence. So that was from me. Thank you very much. I hope I didn't speak too long. So my then now is to give it to Anna Maria. Anna Maria, you're welcome.
Oh, just a second. Okay, I'm here. Do you see me? And do you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, I'll just share my presentation. Mrs. Tatiana, do you see my presentation? So others will see also.
Yes, yes, it's all fine.
Okay. Greetings to everyone. My name is Anna Maria, and in this presentation, I will discuss the practical application of AI tools in the field of education. The following topics will be addressed: what AI technology is and how it works, most common AI tools used in education, and how do these tools work, with examples. AI technology means making computers capable of doing things that usually need human intelligence, like seeing, hearing, deciding, and speaking, but following algorithms. On the right, you can see an algorithm that any program, computer program, is following. AI algorithms are sets of instructions that computers follow to perform certain tasks. So AI technology is not a magic. It's just a way of writing computer programs that learn from examples and make decisions based on data. That is called machine learning. For example, imagine that you want a computer to recognize images of cats or dogs. You can use an AI algorithm called a neural network to teach the computer how to recognize cats or dogs, as in this image. You would need to give to a computer lots of pictures of cats and tell which parts of image is important to recognize exactly a cat or a dog, such as ears, eyes, whiskers, etc. The neural network would learn from these examples to use that knowledge to recognize cats in new pictures. And here there is an image, it's a joke that Mrs. Tatiana already mentioned about, that is not always accurate. So we can see actually here a tiger or a dog. It's evident that various AI-based tools exist now, and that can be used for educational purposes. I divided them in 4 categories that are text-based tools, which Mrs. Tatiana already mentioned, ChatGPT. There are many others like ChatDI, CoBI, Perplexity, etc. So there are many others. Some of them are free, some of them are half free, some of them are only just with paid version. Image-based, like Dall-e that were mentioned already, Discord, Midjourney, Canva already has AI technology integrated in itself. And video and speech-based as Pictory, Movie, Hygen, it can be seen here. If about text-based AI tools, they are using technology to read and understand written words. It's evident that they can do things like translation, summarizing long text, and generate content and answer questions, simple questions or more complicated. By analyzing patterns in the text, these tools can provide useful information and solution for different purposes. That's why it's important to give a clear and detailed prompt. I will give now an example how you can use ChatGPT and BI, both of them. I have the link already here, so you can find them later in the presentation also. And I already have a prompt prepared. So this prompt was we are educators and teachers, of course, to help us to make a lesson plan. I will start with ChatGPT, and my prompt says that it should make a lesson plan on a certain subject with objectives. That objectives should be made by a special model, like following the taxonomy Bloom. And of course, we can give some other information that are in our curriculums, like standards and so on. For not long ago, I discovered that it can make also in tables the information. Sometimes it's working, sometimes not, but I hope it's soon to work. Yeah, exactly. All of these results or content content that is generated should be checked, because not all the time it is something real. It can be even not real. Other chat is BA chat. It's Chinese production. It's less information about it into the internet, but it works perfect. Meanwhile, ChatGPT sometimes has low response activities. Here in BI chat, I never had any problems. So you can see it's also generating the content. This content can be copy-paste and already used in other editors, text editors that where the teachers are collecting information about lessons. So the prompts were very clear and very detailed. That's why we'll have here all the information needed. To not make some additions or changings further, you can exactly here tell what you don't like in this lesson plan. So the chats are changing their response. I'll be back to the next type. Okay, about text-based AI tools. Here there are some use cases of ChatGPT for teachers. The prompts are not so long, but like just an example. Next one is image-based AI tools that use computer vision technology to analyze and understand visual data, such as images. They can perform the various tasks, image recognition, object detection, and facial recognition, like an example that I made in the second slide with the cat and the dog, based on this technology. These tools use algorithms to identify patterns and features with visual data, allowing them to classify and interpret what they see. Image-based AI tools have numerous applications, including self-driving cars, surveillance systems, medical imaging, and even augmented reality, that I will talk a little bit later about the augmented reality. As Mrs. Tatiana already mentioned, we need to have a very good description of what image we would like to generate. So me as a as a teacher of computer science, I will ask the ChatGPT to write for me a prompt that I will use for Dall-e, that is a tool for generating images from also OpenAI that created ChatGPT. Okay, it's not so detailed, but I can use it. I'm going to the Dall-e. The link to this tool is also in the presentation in both of us. As these programs are complex and big, they need sometimes for generating the content, most of all the image and video generators. So here there are 4 images that are generated based on the text that is written here. Create an image on a giant hot air balloon, and so on. Okay, I'll be back here. As an ambassador of European Code Week in 2022, I had the incredible opportunity to introduce the topic of AI art to students in our school, in Heritage International School. Throughout the week, we explored various AI tools and techniques for generating unique and creative images using prompts to guide our exploration. Together with my colleague, Ekaterina Gushkova, we organized an exhibition at the end of the week. All the generated images were printed and displayed. The highlights of the exhibition was a guessing game where visitors were invited to guess which images were created by humans and which were generated by AI. It was amazing to see the level of creativity and innovation that emerged during the week. We also discussed the ethical implications of using artificial intelligence tools in art and the potential impact on the future of creativity and artistic expression. The next type is text-to-speech AI tools and text-to-video, text-to-voice that use natural language processing and speech synthesis technology to convert written text into spoken language. These tools can create realistic sound speech that mimics the tone and intonation of human speech. I'll show the examples a bit later. Text-to-speech tools have numerous applications, including voice assistants, audiobooks, and assistive technology for people with visual impairments or reading difficulties. Here is an example with video that is made just by having text as an input. So here I input the text about myself, who I am and what I'm doing, and the Pictory AI. There is also a tool that is using artificial intelligence technology, and it generated video, full video, where are frameworks from images, GIFs, text that I input, and also short videos inside that can be changed later if you don't like them or you need to have something different. Okay, I will not run it. Text-to-video AI tools use natural language processing and computer vision technology to convert written text into a video format. These tools can create videos with animated characters, chants, and text overlays to visualize the context of input text. Text-to-video tools are often used for creating educational or marketing videos, as well as for generating video content for social media or etc. Here there is a video that I generated from HiGen tool. It's also using artificial intelligence, and yeah, I'll just present it.
Hello, my name is Anna Maria. I am teacher of computer science. Experience in the field of education 10 years. Master of Science in Education. Specialized in technologies for creating digital educational resources. I am passionate about teaching and the opportunity to make a difference. As a teacher, I can positively influence the way children think, inspire and encourage them to believe in themselves. Here is our contact information.
So the contact information is not real. What I have done here, I just input my text. I chose the character that will speak my text. That's all. And it was really amazing. I'm still watching this short video, and I'm amazed what can be done. Okay, next one. Now I want to talk about augmented reality that I have mentioned before.
My name is
augmented reality in education can be a powerful tool for enhancing learning experience. Here is an example how we used augmented reality in our school. Exactly, we used an app that I will present a little bit later, but they are as other text-based, image-based tools with AI. Also, there are different tools that are using augmented reality. It's a technology that overlays digital information into the real world, typically using camera and the screen. So very often AR, augmented reality tools, use AI algorithms to detect and interpret real world objects. Next one will be a short video where you can see this augmented reality already integrated in the lesson. Thank you. This is what I wanted to say, and show an example about how we used in the first grade for students to learn various animals and insects. So we included digitalization in this lesson. Next one I would like to present and also say thank you to the COBIS and the leadership team from Heritage International School for this opportunity to be here today. I would like to present a tool. It's not AI yet, but I hope in the future it will be. As I am now researching and I can say obsessed about lesson planning tools, to make the teacher's life and the educator's life easier, I created a tool I developed a tool for creating and generating lesson plans. This tool is already working. It's on the address that you can see here. Later, the app, as its demo version, will be removed. This lesson plan generated is a web-based program that is designed to help educators and teachers to create a full lesson plan in 7 easy steps. With this program, educators can easily create a lesson plan that it's effective, it's not time-consuming, and also it can be shared with other teachers and community of educators. These 7 steps consist of identifying the learning objectives, choosing the teaching methods, select the resources, design the lesson structure, create assessment tools, and implement the lesson. With these 7 steps, EduPlan MD provides educators with a framework for creating a lesson plan that meet the needs of the students and also of the teacher. Here will be an example that were generated with the EduPlan MD tool. It is in Russian language, but it's not a problem because the translation is coming soon in English. It's also in Romania, but the input that the teacher or educator will write there, of course, it will be in the language that is required. Why I said that it doesn't have an AI technology yet, because soon maybe somehow it can be integrated so the lesson activities and all other steps could be somehow automatized to generate some content to help the teachers to make these lesson plans more easy and faster, of course.
Hi, Anne-Maria. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to stop you there because we're just nearly out of time.
Okay, in conclusion, AI tools have potential to transform education in many positive ways. Thank you for your attention. Sorry if it took longer than it was needed. Okay.
No, that's fine. It was fantastic. I think we could have heard more for another hour. It's so interesting and it's so game-changing. So thank you so much for your time, and Tatiana as well. Just one question for both of you before we wrap this up very quickly. Overall, given your presentation and your experiences of the great things AI can do and the fact that you've had students try and submit work that was done through AI, do you think overall it's a positive thing for education or a negative?
I'm trying to get back to the screen. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm here. Could you repeat this again?
So I think just given your experience of AI, you know, Tatiana showed some good examples of students submitting work that was done with AI. You talked about some great assets it can be in the classroom. Do you think overall it's a positive thing or a negative thing for education?
For me, it's positive. Positive for for our students, it's positive. Of course, it's positive.
From my side, I would say the same as Anna Maria. It just means that we need to establish the rules on how these tools should be used. We need to have all the required policies in place so that our students know what is allowed and what is not, where the breach happens, how they will have the consequences. So if we make things clear from the start, then hopefully the game will be fair for everybody, and the learning will just improve as well.
That's
because
good.
all these tools are time savers for us if we use them in the right way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for your time. I'm sorry to have to wrap this up so abruptly, but we're out of time. But again, this recording is going to be shared. So please do, Tatiana, if you want to share some of your contact details, if people have any questions, is there any way people can reach you for more information or advice?
Yeah, I'm writing my email in the chat.
Well, I'm going to end the webinar, so they won't be able to actually access that. So if you want to say it, that'll be very helpful.
Yes, it's tatiana.popa at heritage.md.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you both for your time. And I'll see you all at the next COBIS webinar.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.